Jaguar Wright just dropped a bombshell, exposing what 50 Cent allegedly cut from the Diddy documentary. And it's far darker than what Netflix showed. She's naming names, leaking unseen footage, and questioning 50's real motive. You didn't cook this by accident. You heard Jaguar is going nuclear over Diddy the Reckoning, and your curiosity makes sense. While everyone focuses on what made it to Netflix, Jaguar is revealing what was left on the cutting room floor, and it wasn't removed because it lacked impact. According to her, this story goes deeper than one documentary. It's about decades of hidden industry secrets and powerful people who don't want the full truth exposed. Stay locked in, because what comes next could completely change how you see this entire situation.
Look at what happened from that. See, and this is why this documentary is, I'm not calling it a documentary, I'm calling it a mockumentary. That's what I call it.
No, that's Spinal Tap.
I call it a mockumentary. I feel like this whole thing is mocking me. That's how I feel. It's wild. But go ahead.
50 Cent spent nearly 2 years crafting this 4-part Netflix series, diving deep into Diddy's life. From his childhood in Harlem to the rise of bad boy entertainment and right up to his recent arrest and conviction, it's a full picture of one of hip-hop's biggest moguls. The series features never-before-seen footage of Diddy speaking with his lawyers just days before his arrest. Plus interviews with those in his inner circle and even conversations with jurors from his trial. Access like this is almost unheard of, and it's about to shake the music world.
It don't even be sad. I want to put her on blast because she was telling me, she was saying to me that what I was asking for was crazy and they wasn't spending money like that. I'm talking about you got footage, you got clothing, you got, I was doing footage, I had pictures, all the stuff that I had, you could figure out a way to pay a brother and stuff like that. And then I was telling her about some prices that I've already received, and I had the invoices to show it. And then she was calling me like I was lying. I'm like, yo, who do you think you talking to?
Not everyone meant to appear in this documentary survived the final cut. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, and a man who knows more than most, was removed entirely. The reason? Disputes with director Alex Stapleton over money and creative control. Then there's Jaguar Wright. Her footage was reportedly labeled too controversial for Netflix. Think about that. For a documentary centered on a man convicted of serious crimes. That raises a bigger question. If this is the long-awaited reckoning, why was so much left out? Why are viewers only seeing part of the story? That's exactly what we're here to uncover. Because when Jaguar finally spoke, she didn't hold back. And what she revealed made everything feel suspicious.
Yeah, he was there for so much of it. Because right after the diddler beat the crap out of Steve Stout, the Jigga Man poked up on Rivera. Not long after that. All of this stuff happened around the same time.
Why do you think Jay-Z wasn't involved in none of this?
Well, I mean, he was involved in a lot of it. You mean, why wasn't he mentioned?
Yeah, mentioned in the documentary at all.
I mean, there was a lot of people that weren't mentioned. Matter of fact, not too many people in the industry were mentioned who were there and present. Isn't that cute?
Very true.
They found a way to tell that story while they kept everybody else clean.
Jaguar points out a shocking truth. Major industry players barely appear in 50 Cent's documentary. Some are completely missing, even though they were at the center of it all. Jay-Z gets mentioned maybe once or twice, and that's it. Stevie J, Diddy's main producer for years, is completely cut out, despite living at Diddy's Star Island house during key moments. And then there's Clive Davis, who owned 51% of Bad Boy Records, meaning he held majority control. Yet in a 4-part series, he gets barely 35 seconds on screen. How does that even make sense? Fans are left questioning what's really being shown and what's being hidden.
The worst celebrity, like, that you've been around is like the most full of sin. I know no sin is greater, but like, just was like, damn, this.
Clive Davis. Devil incarnate. Clive Davis. He Janis Joplin. He blackmailed Betty Wright so she wouldn't tell anybody that he Janis Joplin. He killed Whitney Houston.
When asked who the worst celebrity she's ever encountered was, Jaguar didn't even pause. She named Clive Davis and called him the devil incarnate. She claimed he was behind multiple deaths in the industry, including Janis Joplin and Whitney Houston. I'm not saying all of that is true, but it's striking that a man with that much influence and such serious allegations barely gets a mention in a documentary about accountability. According to Jaguar, that's because talking about Clive Davis means exposing the whole power structure behind Bad Boy, revealing just how deep this really goes. And that's something certain people would rather keep hidden.
Interesting to watch, you don't think? Kalima's testimony? She was probably the most pitiful witness they brought up to speak about all of this in the entire thing. Kalima?
Wait, why you say that? She was emotional. She was
emotional? That's what you call it?
That's what I'm trying to call it.
Capricorn Clark was emotional. I'll give her emotional. I'm sitting there looking at someone, in my opinion, who appears to be struggling with a substance issue, trying not to fall apart on camera. Meanwhile, nobody paying attention to the fact that she's sitting there afraid to really say anything at all because she's in the middle of a custody battle.
Jaguar says Kim Porter didn't get the respect she deserved in the documentary. Kim, Diddy's late partner and the mother of his children, died under mysterious circumstances in 2018. She should have been at the center of the story, but instead, her voice was spoken for by others. One of them was Kina Harper, a former artist who worked with Diddy. Fans feel like the documentary missed a chance to truly honor Kim's life. And the decision to let others tell her story has left many questioning the film's focus.
As far as how they portrayed Kim Porter with this Reckoning documentary.
They didn't portray her at all.
Yeah, they didn't.
That's the thing. They didn't portray her at all. She was spoken for by Kalima. That was interesting to watch, you don't think?
Jaguar called Kina Harper's interview pitiful, not because she lied, but because she was holding back. At the time, she was in a custody battle, and every word could be used against her. Adding to the complexity, her husband is allegedly one of Diddy's loyal associates, a Diddy dub, as Jaguar put it. Kina was also around when Little Rod filmed at Star Island, the same house where many alleged incidents took place, yet she claimed she saw nothing suspicious. Stevie J, who lived there then, isn't mentioned at all. Behind the scenes, Gene Deal, Diddy's longtime bodyguard, was set to be central. But after a disrespectful call from director Alex Stapleton and an unsatisfying offer, Gene walked away, leaving a big gap in the story.
Remember, they left a whole lot of key things out. If they was going to do something and they're going to say in the reckoning of Sean Combs, the reckoning, or Diddy, the reckoning and stuff like that, it should have been a lot of people that we lost because of him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't only Big, it wasn't only Tupac, you understand? For the atmosphere that he put those kids in, you got a guy named Anthony Wolf Jones, who was from Bad Boy, from its conception as doing security and being one of the financiers of Puff having to have some money to keep Big and Craig Mack around.
Gene said the documentary skipped over major tragedies, like the murder of Anthony Wolf Jones, Diddy's former bodyguard and close associate. According to her, the team didn't have the intel to cover these stories properly. But the truth might be deeper. It's not that the information wasn't available. It's that telling these stories could expose too many connections, too many powerful people who want to stay in the shadows. And that's the bigger picture. This isn't just about what was left out of one film. It's about the network of secrets behind it all.
There is no vindication for me because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away out a response that changes now show.
Remember when Jaguar went on Piers Morgan's show and called Jay-Z and Diddy monsters on live television? That moment exploded online. The clip went viral instantly. Everyone was talking about it. Then, something strange happened. Just one day later, the video vanished, gone, removed, silenced. Think about that. Piers Morgan is a global media figure with a massive audience. Yet someone had enough power to make that footage disappear within 24 hours. That alone says a lot about the level of influence at play. This kind of power doesn't just stop at interviews. It reaches production companies, media outlets, and even what stories you're allowed to see or hear. No platform is truly untouchable. And the next part of this story? It's uncomfortable, but it needs to be said.
Get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there, but you got custody of him first.
Jaguar claims there was footage of Diddy and Justin Bieber that got cut from the documentary, and the context is shocking. She says Diddy had been trying to get close to Bieber for years, but his management blocked it. Then Usher, with his own complicated history with Diddy, reportedly gave Diddy temporary guardianship of Bieber for 48 hours after Bieber had already been hospitalized for an unknown reason. Jaguar asks the question on everyone's mind. Does this sound like protection or something else? Allegedly, this footage exists but was removed, likely to protect Bieber and Usher. Jaguar believes 50 Cent didn't make this documentary purely out of goodwill. Jaguar isn't convinced. 50 Cent is trying to take down Diddy for the victims or the truth. She believes he wants Diddy and Jay-Z out of the way so he can control the hip-hop world. In her words, he doesn't want change. He just wants power, becoming another kind of monster. Think about it. 50 has been feuding with Diddy for over 20 years, trolling him online and joking about him. And now, suddenly he's making a documentary about accountability? Jaguar isn't buying it. She even went further, threatening to expose 50 over alleged toxic waste dumping at Millennium Studios in Shreveport, saying she has proof. Her message is clear: do right or risk secrets coming out. Jaguar has been speaking out about Diddy for years, never holding back. She revealed the truth about his parties, saying, "Money, it sucks." She wasn't shocked by the cameras in his homes or the rumors about Cassie being told to hire male escorts. For years, people called her crazy, accused her of chasing clout, or dismissed her as a bitter ex-artist. But now that Diddy's been convicted, everyone acts surprised. Jaguar says, everybody knew, freak-offs. She's pointing out the harsh truth. The industry chooses who to sacrifice and when, and she isn't done. She claims Jay-Z could be next. So what happens now that Jaguar is going public? She says she's ready to release more names, more footage, and more evidence that didn't make it into Netflix's documentary. She's done staying quiet, done watching powerful people protect each other while victims are ignored. And once someone speaks out, it often gives others the courage to do the same. The Netflix documentary might be topping the charts, but Jaguar warns it's just the tip of the iceberg. Key players were barely mentioned. Jay-Z's role was downplayed, footage involving Justin Bieber reportedly cut, and Clive Davis got almost no screen time. Jaguar also suggests 50 Cent might have his own motives behind the film.